Check 1 2 1 2. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone is doing swell. Welcome to the stream on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. Sideline Sedo here, about to bring you a big matchup in the Premier League between Brighton and Manchester City. Brighton currently sit in, I believe, yes, it's 9th place. City sit second in the Premier League. Usually City are atop the Premier League, but as we know, the season's been kind of unpredictable to start, and there's been a lot of ups and downs, both on and off the pitch for City. Primarily Rodri being injured. That's obviously a big kind of glaring situation that always tends to, need to adjust that, tends to be something that leads to City losing. I mean, in most games, if you look at the percentages in terms of win rate, Man City doesn't really doesn't win too many games on average without Rodri compared to how many they win with Rodri. So with that being the case, I feel like we'll only see a more kind of pronounced kind of chaos at City. This game could really be the tipping point, and I think it is, because now, for the first time since April 2018, City have lost 3 games in a row. To lose 3 games in a row, if you're City, is paramount to like a collapse, quote unquote. For any other team, that would be a collapse. Obviously, losing 3 in a row is pretty bad look, but City don't drop points like that, period. Brighton are a side that in the last couple of seasons have proven to be a progressive, forward-thinking, offensive-minded, and generally consistent side. City are the best side, I'd say, in the world on their day. And with the current state of things, I feel like they're never a team you could underestimate. The lineups are on the screen. I'll go and read them out in just a second. Hello, everyone on TikTok as well. I'll tune in over there in just a moment. Hope everyone on TikTok is doing well. Get the final result prediction poll and some things going live on YouTube, and we'll be underway in just a moment or two. So for the lineups real quick, let me just read those out so I get them out the way before kickoff. So for Brighton, it's Verbruggen, Veltman, Van Hecke, Igor, Estupinian, Adingra, Hinshelwood, Ayari, Matoma, Ruter, and Welbeck, the captain. And for Man City, it's Ederson, Rico Lewis, Kyle Walker captaining the side, Simpson, Pusi, Gvardiol, Kovacic, Savinho, Foden, Gundogan, Nunez, and Haaland up top. Hurzeler, Fabian Hurzeler, the youngest ever coach in Premier League history, and Man City, coached by arguably the greatest coach of all time. Let's be real, Pep Guardiola is inevitable. So we'll see how it kicks off. We'll see how they get underway. Feel free to get your predictions into chat wherever you're watching, and let me get the final result prediction poll live on YouTube. So the options will be as follows: Brighton win, and City win, and draw. And your poll is live, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to vote in that over on YouTube if you so please. Beyond that, kickoff is just a moment or two from happening. So hopefully everything gets off to a good start. I'm predicting a 2-1 City win. City's not going to drop points for a fourth. Well, I mean, yeah, drop points for a 4th game in a row. I don't think they played any cup games, but they did. They did end up being kind of. Oh, here we are, kickoff in just a second. Looks like Brighton will kick us off. But yeah, I mean, for City to drop points 4 match weeks in a row, very unlikely. You know, I just feel like there's a lot at stake for both sides here. Brighton are going to want to contend for Europe. City want to contend for the Premier League. It's going to be a close affair. But here we are. Oh, it's actually City who are set to kick us off for the first half. Some Brighton players were closer to the center circle there at the moment. But now we are underway. And City have kicked us off. Ederson with a long hoof pass forward. Haaland to control it. And he miscontrols it and it gets towards Igor, who clears it out for a City throw immediately. Now, as always, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Going to be live, live right now for Brighton City. And then after this, immediately after this, will be Liverpool versus Aston Villa. My personal favorite club, Liverpool, taking on Aston Villa. And then tomorrow, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Big matchup as well, as Guardiola gets the ball back to Ederson here at the Amex Stadium for Brighton. Haaland takes a touch under some pressure. Was he fouled? City get advantage. They're pushing forward. Good pass out wide towards Savinho. Plays the ball back, but to no avail as it's intercepted by Brighton. Rico Lewis manages to get the ball from Simon Adingra, who was trying to get free there on the counterattack. Rico Lewis out wide. City just trying to keep their momentum, keep the pace, because I mean, if City concede first, I feel like there's going to start to actually be some kind of panic internally from Pep and internally from City. I doubt they do concede first in this game, but yeah, Man City win leading in the poll right now by a ton. Thank you for the follow on TikTok, Wolf1015. Appreciated, mate. Thank you for the 99 likes on TikTok from whoever that was. Much appreciated. But here, Guardiola pushing forward as Mateus Nunes receives the ball, gets it to Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis plays it to Gundogan, gets it back to Guardiola. And City recycle possession once again. They're going to try to draw Brighton onto them, of course, as Brighton are now pressing a bit forward. And it's going to be an interesting just matchup, I feel like, between Hurzeler and Pep. Like, to some degree, I feel like Hurzeler has kind of proven that he can do a lot with a little, if that makes sense, at St. Pauli. Like, comparatively speaking, Brighton are a side that, you know, are known for that whole kind of money ball approach of theirs. So, to a degree, I feel like it's a perfect fit. And it's going to take some time to be a total kind of like symbiotic relationship where they're complementing each other entirely. But considering all of that, I feel like, yeah, no, I just feel like he's not going to get the best Pep today, but he's going to be a thorn in the side of coaches like Pep for times to come, I feel like. And given like the infrastructure at Brighton, I do kind of rate the path that they're on. I feel like it's a similar appointment to someone like Andoni Iraola at Bournemouth. Obviously, Bournemouth dropped some points today in a thrilling 3-2 loss to Brentford. But here, City on the counter. Savinho not fouled according to the ref. City once again just immediately threw Foden, trying to channel some kind of attack, but nothing comes of it. Van Hecke here to Veltman. Brighton still continuing to try and get forward here. Estupinian barges forward and nothing comes of it. Some good play from City. Great interception on the pass there from Van Hecke. Haaland was nearly through. Mateus Nunes tried to play a through ball. And if it beat Van Hecke, that was through. So very, very big moment there for Brighton defensively. They've already kind of tried to assure the ball and slow down the play. And as a result, it's kind of led to some solid opportunities here for Brighton, but City immediately stifled them. And Gundogan is slowing down the game for City now himself. Kovacic to Guardiola. Guardiola to Gundogan. Matheus Nunes to Rico Lewis. City slowly trying to get back into the groove of things. I mean, a long ball forward is just comfortably caught by Verbruggen. I mean, if you go and you look at City's, I mean, the 4-1 is the most glaring one, the loss to Sporting, but that also like is offset by the fact that it was a Victor Gyökeres hat trick, regardless of the performance there. You know, that is an anomaly in and of itself for City. But 2-1 to Bournemouth was that? No, it was round 10, the Premier League, yeah. And then 2-1 to Tottenham. Tottenham was the cup, though, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, Tottenham was the cup. I assumed it wasn't. Ooh, a foul here because it was Tottenham and not some kind of lower league side. But regardless of all that, I feel like City are in kind of a decent spot. Regardless, a foul here by Joško Gvardiol on Jorginho Rutter gives Brighton the free kick. I feel like as doom and as gloom as a long ball forward and makes its way towards Matoma, but Matoma can't reach it. It's kicked off of him for a throw-in for City here. The captain, Kyle Walker. He is set to take the throw. He's kind of marshaling some players forward. Guardiola. It's kind of compact the City's back line, and Ederson, under some pressure, is able to play the ball towards Matheus Nunes. Here, Guardiola. Some good play here from Brighton. Adingra. Brighton still kind of swarming around City's box here. City are trying to break free. Gundogan with a nice pass towards Kovacic and some great play from City to break out of the pressure. Here, Kyle Walker looking for a pass forward. Ends up just playing it back to Kovacic to slow things down. Here, Gvardiol on the ball. Plays it towards Matheus Nunes. Nunes trying to run down the left flank here. Taking on Veltman. Rico Lewis plays it to Walker. And Savinho receives the ball from Kyle Walker, and he takes on Estupiñán. He absolutely skates by him. Savinho's cross is headed away by Igor. Here, Matoma. Caro Matoma trying to get free, but Kyle Walker just puts in a boot and concedes the throw-in. Brighton set to take the throw-in here. Good play, though, from Savinho. Gotta say. He just absolutely skinned Pervis Estupiñán, skated by him like he was nothing. He was Bambi on ice. Oh! Matheus Nunes intercepts the goalie's attempt at a long pass. Verbruggen a little sloppy there in play and trying to clear the ball from his feet. I mean, under some pressure for sure, but Matheus Nunes wasn't too able to kind of capitalize on his opportunity there. He did well to get in front of the ball and kind of put some pressure on them, but Van Hecke was there to wipe away the ball, basically just stifling all their chances. And here, Foden down the right, Phil Foden, Savinho. Savinho plays the ball back. City just slow, tempered play. Simpson Pussy here gets it to Guardiola. City playing with a back three in possession almost. Sometimes Kyle Walker getting forward or Guardiola on the left side to create more of a back two when it's really far up the pitch. But here, Ederson's just kind of standing on the ball. It's a weird moment here as he's kind of trying to get some movement. And Kyle Walker is all the way out wide. Kovacic received that pass and played it to Foden. Now it's to Rico Lewis. Guardiola. Still Joško Guardiola gets it to Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes still. Long ball towards Savinho is a little flat there. It's intercepted by Pervis Estupiñán. Here, Brighton trying to activate a counterattack somehow. Veltman. Oh, is he on? Ederson rushes out. It's offside anyways. Good idea there from Mayari. The time is run, but he didn't quite execute it to the best of his ability. Yeah. Well off. Here, ball out wide to Walker, and now Matheus Nunes receives the pass. Nunes just trying to get something going down the left as Joško Guardiola finds Haaland. Now Rico Lewis is off the pass, and City are playing well, and Savinho kind of, oh my God, Savinho just, he hits the top side of the crossbar with a Trivela cross. Left-footed Trivela there from him. 90% pass accuracy thus far from City. 84% from Brighton. Oh, it wasn't quite the crossbar. It was the roof of the net. But Brighton now trying to produce maybe what would be one of the most shocking goals given the context of things right now in the Premier League in a long time. Because if City concede first, I feel like as emotionless as City are in terms of like their clinical, constant, relentless. Here, Brighton. Oh, a shot is just offside as well. Didn't matter. But as kind of, I guess, emotionless and ruthless and efficient as City are in terms of like just stacking points and winning games, and how like they keep their like just ironclad mentality throughout like every fixture. If they go down away from home here first, I feel like that starts to create some panic to want to score more, to act, to just like level matters more than like it has in a long time. I mean, 2018, that's almost 6 years now since they've lost 3 in a row. But here, Ederson gets it to Savinho. Savinho, he heads it off of Pervis Estupiñán. And here, City are just continuing once again. Guardiola plays it to Simpson Pussy. And here, City once again driving forward. Some space. Savinho through free. Savinho. It's a save from Verbruggen. Wow. I thought it was going to just like kind of roll into the net after the deflection, but really good firm save from Verbruggen, just wide of his post after that. And Gundogan just a little too short in terms of pace to be able to kind of just run in and latch onto that. But City are testing Brighton now a bit more. This is gonna be a pretty telling next 15 minutes or so, because if Brighton can hold on, I feel like it'll be good, because then they're looking at the second half a bit more comfortably. Obviously got to get to the second half without getting scored on, but if you'd want to beat City, that's how things would have to go, you know. But here Mateus Nunes fouled, just latched onto by a Brighton defender. Great save by Savinho. Or on Savinho shot, I should say. Verbruggen with the save. Great pace, though, and great kind of skill to free up on that shot for Savinho. Here it looks like Phil Foden will take this free kick, and he sends it in with a left foot delivery, and Haaland on the back post. He latches onto it with his right foot, but ball stays in play. Rico Lewis takes the touch high. It's fair enough. Reese. It's a also auditory experience. You don't even have to totally view. But here we have some good play from Brighton out the back to break free of City's pressure. Some good play still. It's off of Brighton for a throw-in. Pep encouraging the City players, shaking his fists in the air, and that was a totally onside delivery. But Haaland just, I mean, he was trying to latch onto it with his right foot, and it was just kind of getting away from him, really. I mean, he did well to get onto it, I suppose, but not really the best of opportunities there for the Norwegian to show off his attacking prowess. I mean, it was already a hard enough finish from that angle. But you'd imagine that someone who's a bit more comfortable on their right foot would maybe be able to take that in stride a bit better. But that's a whole different thing. You know, you're considering a player's stride and gait at that rate because of just simply footedness and such. But yeah, Yari picks up a yellow card here for just total careless foul there. Pulls down Phil Foden, Yassine Ayari, and picks up a yellow card as a result. Here Kovacic gets the ball to Savinho. Savinho just knocks it on, tries to take on both Purvis Estupiñán and Igor there. Here, Igor does well. Purvis Estupiñán with a long ball forward to try to switch play. That could be well worked, though, there by Ederson. Could have been really dangerous for City had that pass not gone successfully. Real quick, you streaming Liverpool? Yes, I will be, Reese. I will be live for the Liverpool-Aston Villa game right after Brighton versus City. I'll also be live for Arsenal-Chelsea tomorrow, which will be, I'd say, the match of the week, arguably. We've already had some good matches. Brentford-Brighton was pretty huge. Were the other fixtures that really stood out this match week thus far. Fulham winning 2-0 against Palace, 0-0 in the West Ham Everton game, and then Wolves 2-0 versus Southampton. Real Madrid also responding with a 4-0 win at home against Osasuna. Germany in the Bundesliga, we have a 3-1 victory for Mainz over Dortmund, the Klopp derby. Bochum holding Leverkusen to a draw as they kind of failed to respond to a 4-0 thumping at Anfield. And Bayern only grinding out a 1-0 victory versus St. Pauli away from home. But a 1-0 victory nonetheless. Here, Mateus Nunes on the ball, plays it in towards Rico Lewis. Kovacic, back to Rico Lewis. Now to Mateus Nunes. Now Joško Gvardiol to Simpson Pusi. Kovacic. Back to his compatriot Joško Gvardiol. City. Call it calm, call it unsure, are kind of just trying to prod Brighton here. And they lose possession. Some good play nearly, but City does well to step in. Here, Savinho with the foul on Igor. Here, a good piece of play to the left-hand side. A cross comes in. It's caught comfortably. Oh, good interception there. Oh, and another interception as it's just kind of going from bad to worse for Brighton, and Haaland's shot is saved. Not quite. Haaland follows up with the finish, a weak-footed finish as well, I think, at the end of it. Thank you. Thank you, Reese. Much appreciated. Haaland gets on the end of that, manages to get the goal one way or another. And Brighton are just kind of stunned. They were trying to break through on an attack. Haaland is onside. He receives the ball. He takes the shot with the left foot and then just kind of lunges at it with his right after the initial shot is saved by Verbruggen. Kind of bobbles over Verbruggen, and Haaland just kind of latches onto it with his right foot. It enters from the underside of the crossbar, goes smack dab down and back into the back of the net. This is a clean finish at the end of the day. Ooh, I mean, he gets to it, right? Or was it an own goal there? Pep enthused, happy that City back to leading ways. Having lost their last 3, they'll definitely look to see out this game, by hell or high water. Here, a good pass towards Hinshelwood, and Igor now receives it. Brighton defender trying to drive forward and find the pass, but Igor is forced to play it back towards Hinshelwood. Hinshelwood towards Van Hecke. To Hinshelwood. Nayari. To Veltman. Haaland. To Savinho. City just trying to add to Brighton's woes. Brighton nearly win possession, but it's comfortably just kind of scuffed away towards City again. Here, City, once again. Just trying to play out from out the back. Here, City still. Foden, Haaland. Oh, shot this time. Another weak foot shot. Saved by Bart Verbruggen. And I don't know if you heard, Reese, because it was in the middle of the goal and everything, but I saw your comment. I appreciate the compliment on the haircut. But yeah, here we are with City leading 1-0 away from home at the Amex. That chance for City from the corner just fizzles out. Haaland's header just loops over Verbruggen and half the Brighton defense as well as a result. Here, Brighton playing from out the back. Igor receives the pass from Van Hecke. Reese says, I hate Man City. I'm not a fan of them either, mate, personally. No offense to them, right? At the end of the day, like, support who you want to support. Have your reasons and, you know, base it on that. But, yeah, I wouldn't mind see them drop points. Even if I wasn't a Liverpool fan, I feel like from a neutral perspective, just the prospect of City having a kind of, like, worse season is, I mean, to some degree, like, you don't want to see it because you want to see City playing to the best of their ability. And even though that might require performing when they're missing arguably their best player in their squad, and that's very improbable for anyone to do, even City. And when teams do it, it is special as a result. I feel like when you kind of look at all that, you want City performing at least to like a familiar level, like something that you can recognize, like a recognizable level. So, I mean, even for them right now, even though they are down to 3 matches in a row where they've lost, I feel like now they are kind of going to start settling again as Brighton kind of fake this set piece real quick. And Pep is shouting instructions as this free kick delivery is set to come in. Here, Purvis Stupignon standing atop. Runs over, and it's crossed in and comfortably caught by Ederson. Kovacic gets it to Guardiola. City continuing their just recycling of possession and playing the way that City is usually known to play. I mean, obviously, like the way that they've kind of come to play in the last few seasons under Pep, like it's very much like they get one goal and then they start to wear you out until they can manage to get a second, a third, a fourth, and by the time that's come around, it's basically a problem to deal with on a larger scale. Once they have because they do have such a depth of players. They even like the Simpson, what's his name? Simpson Pussy, I believe. Let's see his full name. Jamai Simpson Pusi, 19-year-old center back. I don't know if it's because of injury specifically. Yeah, Ruben Dias has a knock until mid to late November, it says. So they're relying on some academy prospects themselves, City. They're not without, any sort of qualms, to say the least. But I feel like all in all, they're in a position to where they still have their core of quality world-class players, like Bernardo Silva's on the bench. And you still have players like Gundogan and Kovacic playing, players who can get you results. Kovacic with a shot. It's not too comfortably saved by Verbruggen. I mean, he gets his hands to it calmly, but City are able to keep the ball in play, and Haaland lashes off his shot himself. Oh, and a good interception nearly. Here, Brighton still trying to get through somehow. Long ball to the left wing. Karo Matoma found. Here, a cleared ball towards Haaland. Haaland does well in the hold-up play. Gets it to Savinho. Savinho to Phil Foden. Phil Foden, shot blocked out for, I believe, a corner here for City. Good position to be in if you're Man City. I mean, obviously, considering the league table right now, so far 70% possession, 30% for Brighton. 1.82 XG for City. 6 total shots, 4 big chances. 0 XG, 0 shots, 0 big chances for Brighton. It's been the tale of the game, really. Brighton's been trying to kind of build up into some kind of good state of play, but nothing really comes as a result. This would take City top of the league on 26 points, a single point ahead of Liverpool, who have a game in hand. The goal difference is behind by 2. So City would not mind to tack on a couple more, but Brighton will look to make that not the case and maybe even completely reverse the total result of the fixture, but who knows? A lot of game left to be played. Here, the ball is back towards Kyle Walker, who plays it to Ederson. City just calm, cautioned. Trying to find a pass somewhere. It's just not the best thus far. From Brighton, they lose possession and are now trying to cycle it back. Brighton get the throw in here. For Bruggen on the ball. What team do you support? What team do I support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Reese, you should know this. Yeah, today though I'd prefer for Brighton to win, but I don't think they're gonna. I already predicted a 2-1 City win, so like a third the way to my prediction, basically. Here Verbruggen out of his box plays the ball to Van Hecke. Van Hecke to Hinchelwood. Hinchelwood on the turn. Plays a long diagonal here towards Karo Matoma. Matoma versus Walker. Matoma lays it off. Brighton with a chance. Oh, mate, that could have been it. It's not the best finish there from Estupiñán. I think it took a deflection as well, which is going to lead to a Joel Veltman throw-in. Matoma did really well there to get the ball towards, I don't know who, it's Welbeck in the build-up who gets the shot off. Guardiola blocks the shot, and Estupiñán just kind of is forced to try to latch onto it. Oof. Foul there by Brighton. Danny Welbeck has a club-high 6 goals and 10 Premier League appearances this season. Shouts for a handball on Joško Guardiola from Welbeck, mostly. It did hit his hand, but I don't think that'll ever be given because he was sliding with that hand on the ground, so I don't think they're going to... And it was also, like, parallel to his body. So it's not like it's... You know, it's not like he's extending his arm and, like having his arm outstretched on the grass and hitting off that to cause, like, a handball shout. But I understand why Danny Welbeck, in this dire moment, would look to get a goal any way he could, because at this point in time, I mean, it is definitely not the most ideal situation to find yourself in if you are a Brighton fan, I would imagine. Rico Lewis picks up a yellow card here, and Brighton have a dangerous free kick. It's from quite a ways away, so I mean, it looks like they're gonna go direct with the effort. I'd say probably somewhere. I mean, there's 3 options: Welbeck, Veltman, and Estupiñán, and it's probably about like 30, 35-ish yards out, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Estupiñán fakes it. Welbeck takes it. It's out for a goal kick. Nice initial kind of fake by Purvis Estupiñán, but here City with the ball again, going to look to play out the back rather expeditiously, and here this ball towards, I believe that was Walker. It was pretty comfortable, and here throw in for Brighton. Hinchelwood to Van Hecke. Van Hecke back to Hinchelwood. Brighton with a long ball forward. They can't find their forwards once again. Hardly any real chances here for the Seagulls. They're struggling to make any sort of meaningful impact on this game. And I feel like I'm already looking towards the bench if I'm Fabian Hurzeler. There's some kind of like discrepancies on the pitch in terms of like how well you would want players to play. Ayari's on a yellow too. I haven't said his name in a while, but it feels like he's kind of disappeared from the game since that booking. Just basically doing cardio, it feels like. And here a long ball forward. Ederson. Welbeck drops deep to help in the build-up. And oh, they're saying it's out, and Welbeck is losing his mind, saying no, it was in. Oh, it was fully out. Yeah, that was fully out, mate. I understand his pleas, but, like, come on. Here, Kovacic. Ball towards Gundogan. And Ederson is forced to hoof it out. It's headed by a City player. Brighton with the ball. Long ball forward. Some good play. Karo Matoma. Matoma sends in the cross. It's cleared out by City. Haaland to Mateus Nunes. City just trying to slow down the game as much as possible. And then in these moments, they get these incredible opportunities like this lofted ball towards Phil Foden that was offside to begin with. And here, Brighton will reset the play with a short free kick. Here, diagonal towards the right wing. Simon Adingra plays it to Van Hecke. City have just been fantastic since scoring that goal in terms of just controlling the game they want to, playing the type of football that they want to play. And I feel like it's reflecting in the result thus far. 1-0, obviously, without some key figures. No De Bruyne starting, no Ruben Dias, no Rodri, no Bernardo Silva. Kind of like a City of the next era, like a future City type of look. Walker's still there. There's still like players like Gundogan in the starting 11. And obviously this is just like a single rotation of the squad for this game. But to see City still getting results like this, it's a testament to their overall quality, I feel. And as much as I may, be, I don't know, just not too thrilled about it, it is impressive, needless to say. Igor picks up a yellow card just a couple minutes before the the end of the first half. So we'll see how that ends up playing out as the match progresses, as Matoma tries to play the ball and Pervis Stupinian is able to control himself. City still just very, very comfortable passes to one another, get it forward, knock it on, kind of just slow paced, but very efficient. I mean, they know when to turn on the pace when they need to, for sure. And here, stoppage time for the first half is 2 minutes. And City are just going to kind of, they keep this tempo around the back line, keep knocking around the ball until they see one pass opening. And then as soon as that player receives the pass, the whole team goes into attack mode and immediately activates, it feels like. And it's been pretty successful thus far. Today's game, it's usually fairly successful, just generally season to season for City. So yeah, expecting them to continue doing so in the second half throughout the rest of the campaign as well. But yeah, what else would you expect with City? They're just absolute juggernauts at this rate. So yeah. Your Van Hecke to Igor. Bit of a nervy moment there as Purvis Estupiñán's called for an offside. Well done by Walker and Smith Simpson Pussy to hold their line. Could have been a lot worse if you were City there. But what are you going to do, you know? Here, Ederson. Can take the goal kick. Why is my stream buffering now? It's rather unfortunate. Halftime has officially arrived. City lead 1-0 thanks to a 23rd minute strike from Erling Braut Haaland. And a solid display. Understandable response considering their lack of wins in the last few matches. I feel like overall City aren't a side that are going to dwell on a loss. Sometimes they get strung up, back to back to back. But with the case of today, I think we're seeing just how City is able to turn it back on whenever they really want to. Even without a fully strengthened 11. See what the final prediction poll, final result prediction poll is saying. 75% saying City, 21% saying Brighton. So that's a little lower than it was earlier. 4% saying draw. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out in that game. You should call me Sedo, Reese. Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot at stake here for City. Like, they can't slip up here, and they're not going to, I don't think. I think them getting the goal just speaks for itself. The way in which they got the goal, I think is, obviously through Haaland, kind of incisive goal on the counter. like against that very instances, like kind of state of play, just to be able to break free like that immediately after the opposition are trying to counter into an attacking third. It's testament to City. They can play in a million different ways. They could counter your counterattacks. They could play and dominate possession, which, I mean, they have really grown. They were dominating possession before they scored. They've continued to dominate it even more, it feels like, since total possession, I feel like, for the match. Let's see the stat here. Football is healing. Let's go. Real Madrid lost. City lost. Yeah, I mean, both. I mean, we saw a what was it called? We saw a couple of like missteps from City and Real this week, but I mean, Real just won 4-0. City will probably tack a few more goals onto this, knowing them. So it's going to be an interesting kind of matchup. See how both sides kind of kick off. And yeah, just generally excited for the second half. I feel like Brighton aren't too far off, even though they aren't generating chances. They've had 3 total shots, 0.39 XG on 33% possession to City's 67%. City's at 1.91 XG with 9 total shots, 5 on target, 4 big chances. The pass accuracy, 91% to City, 87% to Brighton on 154 accurate passes for Brighton to City's 330. So City are absolutely just outpassing them to every possible degree, committing less fouls, offsides, getting more corners as well. It's been not a single shot on target thus far for Brighton, 5 for City. It's pretty bleak if you're looking at Brighton stats, but like the fact that they're still it's just 1-0. The fact that I feel like if you look at the Brighton bench, they have players that can maybe come in and cause a problem. João Pedro, Ferguson, Matt O'Reilly's on the bench, back from injury. Garuda has been impressive thus far this season. Moder has been a utility player for a while, and Ciso coming back from that injury last season. I mean, they have some options. Honestly, if you look at, let's compare benches. So for City, you have Bernardo Silva. For Brighton, you have João Pedro. I give that to City. Evan Ferguson for Brighton to this, what's his name? Nico O'Reilly kid for City. I'm going to give that to Brighton. De Bruyne versus Matt O'Reilly, that's easily KDB. Weaver and McAtee, give it to Weaver. So it's what, 1-1. So it's 2-2. Enciso and Wright, I know nothing about Wright, so I'll have to give it to Enciso because I've seen him play more. And then, I mean, even then, I feel like City's bench wins, but the fact that it's close between benches is kind of like a sign that City are going through something. You got FC 25, says Reese. Yes, I do, mate. Was playing last night. I actually have I've got this, what's it called? Gosh. I've got this, QPR save. It's QPR. Yeah, that's the team. Got a QPR save that I started. I just got them promoted after winning the championship playoffs and then the final game at Wembley in the championship playoff promotion final. But I got promoted. I signed a bunch of players. I got like a crazy budget and I just spent it. One of the targets was to spend it all. So I spent it on, like, I think the biggest money signing was Antoine Semenyo from Bournemouth. I signed him for like, I think 18 to 19 mil with the sell-on clause. Added in, I didn't add into it, but later in the window, Bournemouth came knocking and asked for Karamoko Dembele on loan. So in a way, kind of got, basically Semenyo for 18 mil plus, I'd say like 16 to 17% sell-on clause plus Dembele on a 2-season long loan. So it's been a fun save though. Signed a bunch of random players that have like high potential, which is always fun to do, but it's like players I think would just kind of like do well, like if QPR was having a kind of thing, like I guess a rebuild or something going on, or a takeover. But all in all, I mean, I just kind of play when I can, really, with FC25. I had to thank you for the follow on TikTok, Miske. Much appreciated. But yeah, I play still, definitely like too much considering how like minimal of an upgrade the game is. I like playing football games, mate. So I'm just inclined to want to play it more. Um, but yeah. Let's see what else. Who else is playing tomorrow besides Arsenal and Chelsea? Excited to see. United and Leicester. That'll be a interesting clash. Forest and Newcastle. Um, that could be cool. Tottenham Ipswich. Yeah, so gonna be live tomorrow for Arsenal, Chelsea. Gonna be live after this for the Liverpool Aston Villa game. Two of the biggest clashes of the weekend, I'd say. Liverpool Villa and Arsenal Chelsea. The next two matches I'll be live for. Pretty excited to see how Liverpool lines up, if there'll be any changes from Arne Slot. He's had an incredible start. It's really indescribable, I'd say. The quality in which he has gone on to kind of produce so far in his tenure at Liverpool. But yeah, I am pretty stoked for that match. Not gonna lie to you. Time until the second half. Let's see. 2.5 minutes. It's not a whole lot of time. I'm going to quickly go use the restroom before time's basically ready for kickoff. So I'll be back real quick. Don't go anywhere. Get a snack, get a drink, subscribe if you're new. And the second half will be underway in just a couple minutes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back just in time for the second half, hopefully. Yeah, it hasn't kicked off. Just ads going. Oh, it's Meadow Soprano. Would you look at that? But yeah, second half set to get underway. Just a moment or two. Hello to everyone on TikTok that is watching. Thank you for the follow, Polanco Christian 504. Wow, a halftime interview with Hurzeler. Oh my God, I hate this trend in all sports, and I hate they're bringing it to the Premier League. Like, why interview the coach at halftime? I don't get it. Like I get what you're doing, but like I don't like it. I should say. I assume he's talking about whatever substitutions going on, but Baleba set to come on for Brighton. Carlos Baleba. Wonder in place of who? Yet to see. Haaland, the goal scorer for City in the 23rd minute. Second half set to start soon. Here, Baleba gets his shirt on. He is on for number 26, Ayari. That makes so much sense, actually. Number 20, Baleba, subbed on here at halftime for Brighton. As Brighton are going to kick us off for the second half. They're going to look to get a goal somehow, some way, through someone. And they are underway, ladies and gentlemen, for the second half. Brighton have officially kicked us off. And we are in the swing of things. We're going to see how both sides square up, how they kind of get on. Obviously, City, I'd say, dominated that first half realistically in less than not less than convincing fashion, because they got through with a 1-0 lead, and they could have and probably should have had two, at least maybe three. But when you look at like everything, it really does kind of lend itself to a position where Brighton have nothing to lose, so it's maybe better for their game plan even. Here as Matoma cuts inside, and plays a nice pass to the right wing where Veltman is found, and now he's kicked it up the flank towards Simon Adingra. Adingra to Veltman. Veltman lofts the cross. Ederson comfortably catches it. It's an offside anyways. It doesn't matter. But yeah, solid performances all around from City, I'd say, in the first half. A little nervy to start, but as the game did grow and kind of progressed into what it has become, it's been apparent that the City of old is still here, Rodri or not, especially in games where you can kind of expect them to be matched up against more kind of forward-thinking, attacking sides like Brighton, who are going to leave more space at the back because of the way that they play. I feel like that lends itself to allow for City to not mask the absence of Rodri, but more so to kind of to just play the way that they play usually. Because people can fill in for Rodri for sure, but it's never like too, how do you say it even? It's never too serious for City if it's against an opposition who, no offense to Brighton, but quite frankly, they're not at the same level. Like Welbeck are not even half the players that Haaland is at, like his full power. If we're being real, like obviously they're quality players, but Haaland is like an anomaly, right? Similar things can be said about the midfielders compared to like someone like De Bruyne, or a center back like Van Hecke compared to Ruben Dias, or like Ake or Akanji. It's a wildly different discrepancy. So in games like this, City, it did take them some luck, realistically. It was just Haaland basically forcing the goal. Oh, Baleba still here. Simon Adingra is not offside. Plays the pass to Veltman. Veltman back to Adingra. Adingra fouled. Referee, where's the foul? That looked like a clear foul there. It wouldn't be a penalty or nothing. Obviously, it was outside the box, but at least a free kick. The ref, he's not done much here. What's he going to do? He's going to talk to Adingra. I want to see the replay of this. Yeah, how that isn't a foul, I don't know. I don't know how that's not a foul. It wasn't a penalty, so they're not going to like review it, but like, mate, that was totally a free kick for Brighton, and a good spot like to take a free kick, like not like too far. It was like 20, 25 yards just outside the box. So weird stuff from the ref there. Don't really like that officiating whatsoever. Here, Adingra, once again, he's on the right, causing some problems for City, freeing up, and he sends in a left-footed cross to Mitoma. And Mitoma's header is just too comfortable for Ederson to catch. Thank you for the follow, Hamaz Jima. Much appreciated, mate. But yeah, you know how it is with City. It's just, oh my God, what a filthy nutmeg by Savinho. A free kick here from City as Estupinian follows Savinho. But yeah, you know how it is. City is to some extent the most inevitable team to have ever existed in the Premier League. Like, well, not even, yeah, right? Like, arguably the only team to contend with them is, or actually the only team to be able to contend with that kind of throne is Manchester United under Ferguson. But to be frank with you, like Ferguson never had a full kind of like coffer, an unlimited supply of like infrastructure and wealth to tap into. Pep seemingly does. So with the state of things, I feel like there's a lot to kind of unpack and unfurl. Oh, if you're oh wow, good play from Brighton. Ball out wide towards Purvis to Stupinian. Stupinian with the cross, the header in. Great save from Ederson. Fantastic save, world class, really. Great reactions and reflex and strength. Just well timed. They're going to show the replay of this. Hinshelwood, the one that got his head to it, he's absolutely shocked that that was saved. Here is Stupinian's cross. Yeah, it was a proper header too. Really got his full body behind it. Total. I mean, he could have done maybe a bit better to just place it, but it was good pace and power. I mean, if it was going maybe a little, if it was like to the left or the right further, it could be a bit more difficult. But it went straight down the middle towards Ederson, so it was always going to be routine save. And now Hinshelwood, he's going to have to receive some treatment. I think the ref is near him. He's feeling out his knee, shakes his head. He says, no, it's not good. Something, no. I don't know. It does not look ideal here for Hinshelwood. A replay of the save and the Hinshelwood chance again. Not a great sign for Brighton as their academy prospect is seemingly down, injured. It's either something with his knee, his hamstring. I don't know exactly what went down. He has a little bit of a weird kind of quirk in his step there, Hinshelwood. So wouldn't surprise me if he's subbed off altogether. There are some options. Matt O'Reilly coming back from injury. Baleb has already been subbed on. Motor is there as well. But Hinshelwood's definitely, like, I'd say, the best of the options that they have in the midfield at the moment. He's played pretty consistently, so to have to sub him off would be a big blow for Brighton, I think, both offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it gets on. Here, City. Once again, Haaland receives the ball. Erling Haaland. Haaland's shot is blocked from outside the box. Mateus Nunes cuts on his right, plays the ball towards Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis loses possession, but City still managed to get it back and eventually caught by Verbruggen, I should say. Gundogan tried to send in a cross there. Nothing came of it for City, but at the end of the day, a solid kind of display. Shout out to all the viewers on TikTok. Sheesh, lots of y'all there. Hope y'all doing well. But yeah, City so far not really doing much besides just kind of trying to, see the game out. I mean, obviously reacting to every single play of Brighton's is going to be ever present for the rest of the game as Haaland gets free here and Haaland plays it in, and it's a good clearance by Igor, I believe. He's screaming at Verbruggen, who tried to applaud him immediately. That was kind of funny. Haaland, ooh. Yeah, Haaland, a good delivery, but nothing comes of it. All in all, though, I mean, Oh, Hinshelwood down again. He's going to have to be subbed off here. This can't keep happening. But I feel like to some degree right now, City are just like on the precipice, right, of like getting that second. Brighton have tried so far, and they haven't even gotten so much as a shot on target to like really be able to like remember and reminisce on. So it's kind of like an unfortunate situation to be in. You know, some players going down now. Hinshelwood there picked up a knock. You know, it's only going to get worse, I feel like. Here, Garuda, I believe, is being subbed on, maybe. No, it's O'Reilly, 33, O'Reilly, being subbed on for Hinshelwood. Oh, it's different spelling. Sorry. Sorry, Matt O'Reilly. He has been subbed on, though. Danish international. Here, City have a corner kick immediately following that substitution for Brighton. Cross comes in. It's headed away. It's back to the player delivered it, who I believe was Gundogan, who sends in another cross. It's over everyone. And officially out for, I believe, a Brighton goal kick here. Here, Verbruggen takes his time, plays it towards Igor, who gets it to Baleba. Baleba to Matoma. Good play here by Ruter almost to try to find someone, but no one's really found. Kovacic is being pressed well. A foul eventually on Gundogan. Rico Lewis plays the ball to Kovacic. Kovacic looking for a pass. He finds Walker. Back to Simpson Pussy. He's waiting for a pass. He plays a long ball forward towards Mateus Nunes, but Simon and Ingrid there to comfortably deal with it. And Brighton, it feels like they're barely in this game at this rate. Final result prediction poll on YouTube has 75% City win, 21% Brighton win, 4% draw. So I'm going to end that right now. It's about around the hour mark. So poll has gone the way of City, which looks like the most likely scenario, considering everything at the moment. Throw in for Brighton. Joshko Gvardiol contending that it was their throw in, not Brighton's. And here Brighton are set to take the throw in to continue this kind of flow of play. Taking a while here, though, and finally throw in is successful, and it's eventually cleared back towards, not the best play. The best play at all. Here, Mateus Nunes. Savinho cuts onto his left, plays the ball in towards Haaland. Great turn here. A foul not given. Wow, the ref has been really considerate, let's just say. That's so annoying how he's officiating this game. Oops, sorry, chat. Just cracked the knuckle. Savino plays the ball back to Simpson Pussy. Takes his time on the ball, drives it forward a bit. Good pass towards left-hand side. And here, Mateus Nunes. Mateus Nunes with the cross. It's blocked, and Brighton managed to get to it, and they clear it forward. Oh, ball towards Savino. Savino on his left. Curls it, but can't get enough spin and bend on it to get into the top left corner. It was a good or top right corner, keeper's right. It was a good idea. Poor execution, not really all the best. Here, ball forward. Here, Brighton outside the boot pass is just not good enough there from Karl Matoma. Here, some good play. Foden gets the ball. He's driving forward. He gets it to Savino. Brighton trying to just win the ball off City, and they managed to do so. Matt O'Reilly plays the ball towards Igor. Plays the pass now to the right-hand side. And Brighton are just, they're really like kind of like devoid of any creativity right now. Oh God, mate, how do I deal with this comment? Whatever. Got to figure out if I could get TikTok mods or something. Oh, that header is just over. Too weak. Here's some more subs for Brighton. Joao Pedro set to come on. Another sub as well. We'll see exactly who this is, I think. So Reuter is off. I know that much. Put in so it's Reuter and Adingra. For Pedro on for Adingra, says actually. And Gruda on for Reuter. See how Brighton responds to these subs. If they play any better or not, remains to be seen. Obviously, it just happened. Here, a good pass in. Here towards Brighton's box. City are just kind of starting to coalesce, and now they've gotten it all the way back as they've kind of tried to force Brighton to go a bit forward. That was a crazy pass or a flick or whatever. Here's Savinho. Plays the ball to Kyle Walker. Walker, loose pass. It's intercepted by Brighton. Brighton trying to run the counter as Danny Welbeck gets the pass behind Gruda. It's not ideal. They play the pass to Veltman. Veltman to Gruda. Gruda on the wing trying to find the pass, and Veltman goes again and slow to find an option. He finds Van Hecke. Van Hecke with a great ball to Karo Matoma. Karo Matoma with the cross. That could have been it, mate. That could have been it. Some good play here as Brighton get it to Matoma. Matoma, his shot is stifled very comfortably by Ederson. Brighton with two really great chances in short succession. I guess you could say the counter, not the counters, but the subs have kind of come into effect already. But there hasn't really been anything to write home about. I mean, Matoma, that was always going to be tough receiving the ball there with a confident Ederson chasing you down. Now, Brighton once again, João Pedro. João Pedro. Oh, my days. What is he doing? A left-footed strike. 3 quick chances consecutively. Brighton have turned up the notches. But haven't been able to... I mean, it was an onside pass. It was clean. First touch is whatever. Second touch is a little more bleh. Just kind of set himself up for not a whole lot. Kind of off target. Not the best kind of strike there from the Brazilian international. The linesman needs something. Oh, mate. He's got to replace his mic. Something like that. Some kind of battery pack. Can replace on the ref. Still receiving some kind of a changes here to his communications pack or whatever. I don't even know. Bernardo Silva set to come on for City. I wonder who for. If I were to predict, I'm going to say maybe Savinho. We'll see. It's going to add like 4 minutes of stoppage time alone, this whole exchange. It's Gundogan. Interesting. Bernardo Silva set to come on here in place of Ilkay Gundogan. Manchester needs to score at least another, says Jay Hune. Hope I didn't butcher that, mate. It feels like they're going to. They don't need to score, obviously, to win the game again, because they do have the lead, but at the same time, it's like you must expect them to. And they've been playing good enough to warrant that kind of expectation. Obviously, we all know how good they are historically in the last like decade or so, but for today, they've done their job the way that you'd expect them to. 63% possession to Brighton's 37% here. Baleba gets it to João Pedro, who's on the left. 7 shots on target for Brighton to City's 11, or 7 shots in total to City's 11. 2 on target for Brighton, 5 on target for City. Haaland gets the ball out wide, long diagonal. Here, Simpson Pussy looks for a pass. He finds Kyle Walker. A foul here on Phil Foden. Brighton have given up the free kick. Kevin De Bruyne coming on for Savinho. Here, Ederson looking for a pass. Plays it out wide towards Joško Gvardiol. Gvardiol looking for a passing opportunity. Finds Rico Lewis. Here, good play. It's a free kick to City, or Brighton actually, I should say, deeper in their own half, and now they've already kind of taken it, and ball out wide towards João Pedro on the left. Purvis Stupinian. Mitoma. Mitoma once again. Gets it to João Pedro. Wow, what a pass towards Matt O'Reilly. His cross is well over everyone's head. Here, Veltman fakes the cross. Van Hecke sends the cross in. João Pedro can't get to it. Bernardo Silva heads it away. And Haaland can't break free from Baleba, who gets the ball towards Veltman. Veltman to, I believe that's Gruda. Brighton still trying their best to... Poor dribbling there from João Pedro. A good idea, but couldn't keep the ball in. Oh, a yellow card here. I think it's a yellow card for... I don't know who he gave it to. It's not showing yet. Yeah, for Jamai Simpson Pussy. Didn't show exactly what the yellow card was for, but it was a yellow card given to the City Academy prospect. Here, Van Hecke. Brighton are just trying to keep their kind of rhythm, trying to keep up with City to some degree so that they don't really fall super far behind. Where'd the mustache go? I got a haircut yesterday and I was like, my barber was shaving like my facial hair. And I told him, oh, Brighton with a chance. Oh my God, they've scored. Brighton have scored, ladies and gentlemen. João Pedro, the goal scorer, 1-1. And City, out of nothing, immediately in some kind of state of disarray. This is huge. Brighton have not had many chances whatsoever, and here immediately they score, and it's 1-1. But let's look at this. It was Matoma's outside the boot pass. He gets it to someone in the box. He gets it to Welbeck. Welbeck tries to get after it, and then João Pedro just runs onto it and scores. Stunning finish from João Pedro. Great work from... I'm the good luck charm, says Mr. the Zelda dude. Brighton. What a finish. Not the cleanest finish, but he hit it off the ground and bounced off and went to the back of the net. And that's a hell of a goal from João Pedro. But mustache, where to go? Barber was shaving my facial hair. I told him to leave the mustache at the start of the haircut. And he takes his time. So by the time he got to my facial hair, he had, he had like done my edge up, this, that, basically done everything, had done my eyebrows. And then he was like moving on. He got rid of like a bulk of it. And then like we were mid convo about something. He's like, yo, 1 sec, I'm going to be right back. He left to go do something real quick for like 30 seconds to a minute. Came back and we started talking again. And he went back to shaving on the opposite side. And when he did that, he basically got it all. And then he just one swipe, like, got half the mustache. And I was like, well, there's nothing I could say now. Like, what am I going to do? So I just have decided I'm going to have to live with it, unfortunately. For the first time in basically the whole game, City are in need of a goal, are in a position where they're being forced to push forward, really, for the first time in a while. Haaland, they had a camera on him after they got scored on, City, and he did not look too thrilled. You wouldn't expect him to be too thrilled, right? But tense times. 10 times. Scary, scary situation. Here for City. The prospect of dropping more points, which would keep them in second on 24 points, a point behind Liverpool with one more game played than Liverpool. Their next matchup is Tottenham in the league, who they lost to in the cup a couple weeks ago. Could they possibly make that stretch not just four, well, I guess this wouldn't be a loss, but this would be 4 matches or 4 games where they drop points. That would be them looking at 5 against Tottenham if they were to drop points in that. But Brighton are still hungry. They're trying to get this winner. And if they do get the winner, then things go from bad to worse at City. Here, Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro plays it through. God, what? Matt O'Reilly, the goal scorer, the new signing for Brighton, the Dane pops up with a goal out of nowhere. 82 and a half minutes have passed. Pep Guardiola is furiously chugging his water. This is insanity. What is happening at Brighton? O'Reilly, the goal scorer, an incredible finish. Some great play, too. Good play. Matt O'Reilly is on, I want to say. His hand might be in offside position, but that you can't score with a hand, so it doesn't count. Doesn't matter. But what a finish. Joao Pedro with the assist. Baleba to unlock Welbeck. Finds Joao Pedro. Finds Matt O'Reilly. Rico Lewis loses his man. He was at fault for, not at fault, but he was in the heart of both of the goals getting scored. This is crazy. Fabian Hurzeler, the youngest ever Premier League coach, is set to be the legendary Pep Guardiola here at the American Express Stadium in Brighton. Let's all laugh at City, says Owen on TikTok. Shout out on TikTok. Lots of you in chat. Feel free to go and give me a subscribe or a follow. Follow on TikTok or Twitch, a subscribe on YouTube. YouTube is the main platform I really make most of my content for, but I will be live for the games, well, the game after this, Liverpool, Aston Villa, and then I'll be live for Chelsea, Arsenal, so feel free to tune in either on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, whatever you please, and any sort of likes, subscribes, follows, shares, that is the easiest way to help the channel and to help the stream. So thank you so much, chat, because I'm feeling pretty happy about this result. Not gonna lie. Wow. Wow. City. This would take Brighton up to 4th on 19 points. That's same amount of points as Nottingham Forest. But it's also it's on, I think, a match less. Yeah. So Nottingham Forest could cut the deficit if City do lose this game, which it looks like they might. There's a chance they do. But if City lose this game and Forest win their game tomorrow, that puts Forest a point behind City after 11 matches played, which is crazy to consider. Joao Pedro trying to add more to the tally, maybe. Joao Pedro still. Brighton now just recycling possession themselves, trying to beat City at their own game by just not really engaging too much offensively, but just keeping the ball while they can. Long boot forward. Ederson here looking for a passing option. There's going to be a lot of stoppage time minutes. I just want to let everyone know that straight away. It's more than likely going to be a huge kind of probably at least 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, 8. God knows how much, because there was a few subs. There was the stoppage with the linesman where he had to get his battery switched for the microphone. And beyond that, yeah, there's gonna be some interesting stuff to see here in the final 10 minutes or so here, including stoppage time. But yeah, what a performance, what a game for Brighton. Here Kovacic, Simpson Pussy. Kovacic still gets it out wide to Rico Lewis. Here, Phil Foden driving forward. City really trying to press. Veltman clears it out, though. There's 2 minutes of regular time left, plus stoppage time. See how this plays out. Haaland waiting in the box from De Bruyne's cross. Gets cleared by Brighton defender. Here, Rico Lewis plays the ball out wide. And a good pass towards Foden. Foden lays it off here. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne. Oh my God. KDB nearly just scored an absolute howler. I mean, he's teed up from that range a million times. It's just a little wide of the near post. Good effort from the Belgian. Some subs, or a sub here for Brighton. Motor set to come on for 22. Matoma, yeah, interesting. That's fair. Matoma off, Motor on. Number is Motor. $15. Okay. Motor is 15. 15 Motor. Alrighty. Big turnaround here for Brighton in the Premier League. It's still not done yet, though. I mean, to get a point out of this game, they probably would have been happy to start, but I really wasn't expecting them to get the lead. I predicted a 2-1 City win. I never expected them to have the lead throughout the game. I assumed they'd get a consolation or an equalizer. It's 9 minutes of stoppage time. This is going to give City a lot of faith. Here, Mateus Nunes looking to turn. Still can't quite get through. Plays a nice pass forward. City are just comfortable trying to build up from out the back. They're a lot more cautious, though. They know they have about 8 minutes or so, but that isn't a ton. It's a ton of time and stoppage time when you're trailing by just one to like go and chase it, but it's not like, they're in a bad spot here. They don't have any real reinforcements in terms of forwards. They've subbed on some cams, some midfielders. And obviously, two of the best midfielders in the world, in De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. Oh, Foden nearly just scored there. Foden, obviously, another very clinical player for City in recent years. Nearly got a goal there. Would have shut me up right away. But I do think that like someone like Alvarez would have been really useful in a game like this. Obviously, I think Haaland's got to stay on the pitch as long as you're trailing. But it does feel like there's a certain lack of clinicality amongst that forward line for City. Haaland is like such a ubiquitous force for goal scoring that like that's fine, but like who else? You know, Savinho, is he going to be a long-term goal scoring option? Doku, is he? Both question marks really for me. And on top of that, you got I mean there's just not, I guess Oscar Bob is there, but like what's his ceiling? Will he reach it at City? Is he gonna be more like a Cole Palmer who finds better form? Not even better form, but like really blossoms away from the Etihad instead. It's not outside the realms of possibility. So really does become questionable as to like what do they need to start really like dominating games again in a post Rodri or like without Rodri kind of setup. You know, like do they try to like become even more pronounced and defined in attack? Like you try to get a like for like replacement. These are all questions that like Mateus Nunes was gonna be the Rodri replacement, right? He was supposed to be, but he's clearly not that player. He doesn't have the capacity to be the same type of midfield linchpin that Rodri is. He has had the ability to kind of recycle possession well and play better as like someone like a Kovacic or a Gundogan would, but Kovacic and Gundogan are not the same midfielders that Rodri is, you know. So it's like if you get someone who is very similar to Rodri, and there's not probably many people that could play his role for City to the level he does. You know, if you had someone out there who was playing there, do you go out and sign him? I don't know. It's just like, because then, like, once that guy's back, he's never going to see a minute on the pitch, probably. And you're not probably going to want to pair him with Rodri. So it's like kind of like a self defeating prophecy. Prophecy. Here, some good play from City to latch on the ball. They're still trying to attack. 4 minutes of the 9 in the stoppage time has elapsed. It's been a fairly contentious game, back and forth all day. Like, how do we let them score 2 back-to-back? At this rate, they will. City might be washed, says Ocho on TikTok. Maybe, Ocho. Maybe. Crazy stuff, though, as a Liverpool fan. Won't deny it, mate. City's dropping points, like, actually, like, consistently. It doesn't feel right. And now they're going to score because I said that. Watch. Oh, good interception. Good tackle. Brighton are really just bodies behind the ball, defend, Brexit ball type thing, which is valid. Like, they have a 2-1 lead at home against City, who, quite frankly, are maybe the best side we've seen in world football in a while, probably since Barca, right? Oh, man, they nearly just scored there. Joshko Gvardiol popping up out of nowhere. Why does he keep getting licensed? Like, I get why he gets licensed to go forward because he's a really good like goal scoring threat, but like, who is not marking this guy? He's scored in the last but he's scored a ton of games recently, going back so far as last season. He was scoring in a couple back then, so you'd assume people would kind of get the hint. Oh, he's probably a really good goal scoring center back if City, you know, if he scored a few for City. And then he's just added to it, and he could have gotten a crazy equalizer. That would have been monumentous for him. A big kind of crowning moment for him as a center back, especially since his partner today is an academy prospect. Like, that would have been really impressive. But here, Ederson to Simpson Pussy, 96 minutes of the 99 have elapsed. We have 3 minutes of stoppage time left, and City are trailing by 1 away from home to Brighton. 2-1 the score. Brighton intercepts. And they're going to start to kind of try to just get the ball as far forward and out wide as possible against City. I mean, if they could get another one, it'd be huge. But I don't know if they need the third goal or if they should just keep it cautious. Oh, they're like Beyblades right now. Why are they going forward for a third, mate? They're going to give up a free kick here. They do. Stupid, stupid play. They were really trying to, like, get that third for some reason, but I don't feel like they need it, mate. Like, obviously, like, it'd be cool against a side like City, but now City have one last chance or two in the last couple minutes, but Brighton intercept and clear. And here, Ederson's all the way up, and basically every City player is too. Simpson Pussy on the ball, plays it to Kovacic. Kovacic out wide. Good ball towards the middle and across. Bernardo Silva here looking for a passing option. He finds Mateo Kovacic. Ball's knocked back. City still have it with a minute and a half remaining. Kovacic. Walker. Bernardo Silva here. Walker again. City still trying to pry through somehow. Oh, and Brighton do well to clear the ball out for a throw-in as Mateus Nunes is on the ground in some discomfort, I might add. Nunes back on his feet, hobbling really awkwardly. He's trying to put no pressure on his knee. This is not a good sight. City are not making a sub. They're trying to get this goal. Kovacic to Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis to Kovacic. Cross towards Walker. Walker with the header. Headed away. De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne with the cross. Headed away again. Headed once more. Verbruggen. That last header was a looping one. Haaland, and oh my God, Haaland and Van Hecke are wrestling. What is going on here? Oh, Van Hecke's on the ground. Oh my God. It's like an actual fight out there. And this is what I talked about earlier in the game today, ladies and gentlemen. Tempers are flaring at City. They're starting to show cracks. They're starting to grow angry. And that's not good for their calm, dominant style of play, especially when they're known for possession. Haaland gets a yellow card. I don't know why he was... I mean, I know he wanted that equalizer, but let's see this. Okay, so him and Van Hecke seem to have been holding each other the whole time. I don't know who initiated that, who was the instigator, but it was a stupid play that got Haaland booked. He might come to regret that in a few months' time. And that could be that, ladies and gentlemen, almost. I thought it was, but not quite. Now it is. Ladies and gentlemen, City lose a fourth consecutive match. Shocking stuff at the American Express Stadium. Brighton win 2-1, a 2-1 comeback win at home against Man City, the current Premier League champions. A shocking victory. Haaland with the opening goal in the 23rd, Pedro with the equalizer in the 78th, and Matt O'Reilly, the new signing this summer from Celtic, getting on the score sheet, getting his first ever Premier League goal, the 83rd minute to close things out. What a win. City now only second. They're 2 points behind Liverpool with a match more than Liverpool. This means if Liverpool win this next game against Villa, Liverpool will be 5 points clear at the top. City closer to potentially Nottingham Forest than Liverpool at the end of this match week, should Nottingham Forest get the victory against Newcastle at the City ground. Ladies and gentlemen, what a match that was. What a tale of two halves. What a absolute resounding comeback. by Brighton. Shout out Curtis Jones in chat. By Brighton, a victory that you could only dream of if you're Fabian Hurzeler, and it's come to reality. It's come to be real. I'm stunned. I'm quite frankly flabbergasted that Brighton were able to actually win there. A big statement win. Testament to Hurzeler's play style. A statement in the way that they got just, they played incredible, but they weren't getting chances. And then the chances started coming and they took a couple of them and they won. And it was a wild occasion. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm going to go and get ready for the Liverpool Aston Villa stream, which is going to kick off in 29 minutes. So peace, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Sideline Sedo. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much.